You are Locked On Texas Tech, your daily podcast on the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Great to be with you again on Locked On Texas Tech on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, always free and available on YouTube or anywhere you get podcasts. With the only Chris Level, I'm Casey Cowan, dropping back in down the chimney, you might say. We had to get skinny for that one. For a bonus edition, it's Locked On Texas Tech Christmas wish list time. Happy Christmas Eve if it's finding you as we speak, or anytime you're taking it in. If Christmas is already come and gone, hope it was a great one. But Chris and I are looking ahead to 2025. We're giving Santa a few extra days to get this together for us. 2025 Christmas wish list, Chris. And really on any front you could consider. I know we are awash in football transfer portal glory right now, so it's kind of hard to shake off maybe some wishes and hopes and dreams for that in 2025. But whether it's the hardwood or anything in between, I'd love to hear from you in the YouTube comments as to what is on your list. And Chris, as we roll in and out of portal season, whether it's this winter or into the spring, I think one of the things that I would kick my wish list off with, say it 10 times fast. I almost had it. In general, is just a healthy, wealthy, and wise state for the Red Raiders, namely health. I will say for the most part, no football season without some injury concern, but when you're thinking about that quarterback, particularly coming off of a hot streak last time around, and that involves a starter who unfortunately now dealing with a procedure. But could I just wish for a healthy 12 months? Santa, is it too much to ask for the guys in red and black? I know you'll probably join me in that one.
Well, he just gave you he started all 12 games, but yeah. No,
and
right.
Then
I mean, yeah,
and then
touche. Yeah, you could the health thing. I mean, people always say that, like, you know, you can have money and you can have stuff and all that, but man, the most important thing for all of us is just feeling good and being healthy and not having issues that you're dealing with health wise. That we are fortunate if you are in that category. There's many that aren't. And when we're talking in the sports spectrum, you're right, because I wonder about, you know, what this is going to look like with Barron. How quickly can he get back into some normalcy? Because I think that I think all throughout this initial injury, which goes back to last year, I don't know how much he's been able to lift. Or do some certain things because and build up his body. Yeah. And I'm sure, I think it's probably bothered him a great deal. So I think the world of him and his dad, his family and everything. And I know people are excited about Will Hammond, and I get it. And I am too, but I won't back away from the fact that you're going to need both of these kids, if you want to get to where you want to go. That's just the way it's going to go. I just refuse to believe that if you removed one from the equation, you'll be like, okay, we're still going to be okay. I mean, I maybe you're forced into that for one reason or another, but I want both of them. But to have both of them, you need Barron to recover and be okay and be on track and all that. And hopefully he's back and throwing by April or May, and then we can kind of look back and like, okay, well that time has passed. He looks sharp. He looks great. He's been in all the meetings with the scheme. The other guy, how about you, while we're wishing for health, and this is more in the immediate, but it'd be nice if JT Toppin was also fully healthy for the remainder of the spring.
Spread it around.
I don't know if you have, because last year you dealt with, first of all, last year you only had 18 conference games. And you had there was a bye in there, like where you kind of have a one game during 1 week, and there was a little more spread out. As soon as we reconvene, starting on New Year's Eve, you are going to play 2 games a week for the next 10 weeks. And then you've got a conference tournament staring you in the face, that's going to be a bit, I think, start a day earlier. Okay, so whereas the conference tournament started on a Wednesday, this year it's on a Tuesday. So there's just less time with more games. And you desperately need all of your pieces, but especially that one. because last year you had no Warren Washington, and I think Darion Williams kind of morphed into a different role. But your guards were so good. I don't know if your guards are as good this year. It doesn't mean they can't be, but we just haven't seen that to this point. So you were able to survive it a bit and kind of remorph your team and kind of tweak it and all those things. But JT is a massive piece to what you hope to do. And so, we'll kind of see. But I also hope for, health for guys like, we talked about some of these dudes. I mean, like Justin Horn, whose season ended prematurely, Adedire and Dylan Spencer, who never got a chance to suit up this year. There's some of those Vinny Scurry. There's some of those pieces that I hope that you can sprinkle a little of that fancy health fairy dust on those guys, because these are trench guys in many cases, and these are key pieces for what you hope to get done. So let's hope that they recover and are back and healthy and 100%. But I like what you're putting down there.
It may not be a sexy ask, I know it's like, oh, what can I wish for?
Well,
health. But I got to tell you, it's been, and maybe it's just the way it goes. I don't know if it's anything special, but it feels like there's always something. Always.
Yeah, and that's fair. That's
something
fair.
Significant too, not just like knick-knack paddywhack stuff.
The other thing that there's so many things you could wish for here. We will get this in a matter of days or weeks, not too far off into the distance. But as I'm sitting on Santa's lap here and I'm wishing for stuff, or
Santa.
I'm
handsome on his lap. Wow.
Or if I've got pencil in hand and I'm writing out my letter to Santa Claus and mail it to the North Pole. Scheduling.
Yes.
Your football schedule next year. I hope you get 2 bye weeks again. Some may not like that. I kind of, and that, we could get there and be like, God dang, I wish wouldn't have had a bye. You were playing really good. I don't know. I like it a bit more spaced out because I feel like I'm protected because of the health part.
Yeah.
Okay, a bit. And I think that you can segment your season to where, fellas, we're going to take 1 day at a time, 1 week at a time. But you can also kind of start to break it down into thirds or fourths and like kind of attack each section at a time when you have multiple bye weeks. The other thing that I'm going to hope for is no home games that aren't on a Saturday. Don't you dare, Big 12, send me a Thursday or a Friday home game that's in conference. I'm not a part of that.
Double stamp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only caveat I would give you, is
today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. Get ready to tackle all the action with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. And right now, new customers can bet only $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL and a whole lot more, all in one place. So when you get a hunch, a gut instinct in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more, all on the same page where you place your bet. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today, and you'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com. Never waste a gut feeling again, and make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
Only caveat that I would give you is, and maybe you get tossed one of these in the non-conference, that's fine. I'll deal with that if that's what comes my way. The only conference caveat I would give you is if they do have you home on Thanksgiving weekend and that game is on a Friday. That's not ideal, but they're going to give multiple teams these games, and that's just, whatever. So that's the only I still wouldn't prefer it, but because you may get Saturday and all that on Thanksgiving week. But that's from a scheduling standpoint, and I hope that it's I hope you're spaced out enough to where you're not going to say Tempe 1 week and then Cincinnati or West Virginia the very next week. Like you're going to all these different coasts and the time changes are all over. I hope that you are at some point you get a little luck there to where you're not, like, okay, what time is it? I just, so hope that you can you get some normalcy there as far as like home 1 week, away 1 week. But yeah, I don't want to see any bi-coastal things going on different weeks. Cause there's a chance with Tempe and Salt Lake and then Cincinnati and Morgantown, there's a chance you could get, back-to-back games there where you're going one way 1 week, one way the other. And I don't know. Again, if I'm wishing for stuff and it's my wish, some people are, you're making too big a deal of that. No, if I'm wishing for stuff, I don't want to have to kick off one game at 11 p.m. 1 week and then the other day kick it off at like what would be like 9 a.m. the next week or whatever. And then you're trying to cram in all the, so anyway, yeah. Body clock. Maybe I'm making a big deal about that or not, but anyway, it's my wish list, not yours. So that's
dude. Your body is a temple, and you got to be worried about that clock. All right,
and I'm routine oriented, man.
That's right. Yeah, keep it at the forefront.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm going to be wishing that the SEC, the Big Ten, anybody that fits the description, will quit bitching. What will it take? And I guess in one hand I feel that way, Chris, but in the other hand, as a proponent of the biggest damn playoff you've ever seen. I don't even know what that number is, but the biggest one we can get away with. I've always wanted bigger and better. I can't believe where we're at. I was just looking at the college football playoff bracket this week, just thinking, this is actually here. We had on-campus games. Like, I can't believe this all seemed like a pipe dream a long time ago. So we've come a long way. It took about 125 years, but we came a long way. So still some progress to make. But so I feel like, shut up, win more games you want to be in, whatever. But on the other hand, Chris, as a guy who's looking still to advance the size of this thing, I like the right people being ticked off. And we know who those right people are, right? That could advance what I actually want. So maybe like a double-sided kind of wish here. I'd wish for them to kind of hush for a moment. But at the same time, I'm also wishing for further advancement and a significantly bigger playoff to come. I guess we're headed to 14, but man, what lies beyond that? What do you think we'll see in the future?
Yeah, well, in the on-campus games this past weekend were just unbelievable. You had some cold weather and snow and all those things. I mean, it legit, man. And that, heck, man. While you're wishing for stuff, can you imagine this city with a home playoff game?
Add it to the list.
Yeah, would I rather have a bye? Sure, but I do in the back of my mind, like, how much fun would that be? Because again, we touched on this like a year ago or at different times. Would be the biggest home game in your program's history.
Yeah,
it just would, by virtue of. It's because I think whenever we would talk about it, we're like, imagine hosting a Sweet 16 game or an Elite 8 game at the United Supermarkets Arena, because that's what it would be. That's exactly what it would be. But as far as you are going to grow to 14, I think at some point, not this next year, but I think they can go look at it in 26. And I think that to your point, so you get a 2-year, whatever. But the right people are pissed, namely Greg Sankey. You'll see it rediscussed, and it's been floated, and it's something we touched on. And I guess in some ways, maybe I have a different opinion of it now than I did at the time when I felt like, man, come on. But the whole, hey, okay, we're going to expand this bad boy, but the Big Ten and the SEC are going to be responsible for 8 of the 14 bids, and the Big 12 and the ACC are going to be responsible for 4 of them, and then we're going to do the group of 5. I'm not so sure that may not be as good as it gets for you to take a multiple bids. But because to me, I think you're already going to get 4 here and 4 there. And if anything, let them complain over who the at-large bid would be, and they can fight over which one gets that. But if you're telling me I got multiple chances at this deal when this year you only had the one, BYU got hosed, I'm not so certain that's not, as good as it's going to get for you. And some may get irritated with me saying that. I'm like, how dare you bow down to them? Like, why would you take the crumbs? I'm just looking to grab as many seats at the table that I can. If you tell me that, because you just got one this year, how much fun would it have been if you had multiple?
Well, I like what you're saying. I think I would want to find some middle ground, because I think it should more likely be a 3-2 split.
Yeah, I bet you
instead of 4-2. But at the same time, and I've said this before, and I'm just sorry to those of you who are in this category and don't like this, but first, today's episode brought to you by Gametime. Never sweat buying tickets to your favorite event again with Gametime. It's always a breeze using the Gametime app where you're going to find the best last-minute deals, and I love being able to scout out a view from any seat before pulling the trigger. Of course, you're always doing it at the lowest price guaranteed. Gametime has deals on tickets right up to the start of the event and even an hour after it begins, which means you can finish off that final brat, that final beer at your own pace at the tailgate, because Gametime is the place to find last-minute seats to any event. Gametime gives you the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets, but not just fast, also secure and simple to use. So right now, download the Gametime app and create an account and use our promo code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Again, create an account and redeem our code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today for last-minute tickets at the lowest price, guaranteed. And I've said this before, and I'm just sorry to those of you who are in this category and don't like this, but at the same time, you want to guarantee yourself more spots. Let's talk about maybe neglecting more so these group of 5 programs. Let's talk about more real estate for other power 4s on the back end. Then if you want to go down that path, I don't know if anybody's got the stomach to actually travel down that path, but there are a lot of things that are not going to be quite equal about this thing. And it's fine. It's not, doesn't have to be a perfect enterprise, Chris, but I know what we got now is better than what we've had. So yeah, I'm still excited about that.
I don't disagree with that. And yeah, and I think if you were to go to 16, which at that point the calendar is your problem. How many weeks can we do this? And like, the bowl games and conference championship games, the calendar is the problem. The bigger you get this deal. But 14 team, I think it's basically gonna come with some more automatic bids tied to these leagues, and we'll see what that looks like. But if you get to 16, then maybe you can, I don't know, do some different things if that's what they were going to look at. I don't know. The other thing, speaking of scheduling, the other thing I would wish for, speaking of scheduling, is I wish that everybody played as many conference games as the Big 12 does. So we're at least somewhat equal, and we don't have like 6-way tiebreakers and 6-way ties.
Well, or take us to 8. I don't even honestly care. Let's just all do the same thing. Could I?
Well, yeah, well, that's
you
fair.
Like one over the other. You like 9 instead of 8 specifically.
Here's the thing. I like having an extra conference game because I don't want you to give me another Abilene Christian on the schedule, to make up for it like the SEC does.
That's true. I'm not going that route.
Yeah, and I don't
Power 4 collision.
I think other schools, if you took less away, a lot of schools would do that. Well, hey man, we tried to schedule so and so, but we couldn't get it done. So that's why I like an extra inventory from the conference standpoint, because. So anyway, but I wish it was just somewhat equal, and that may be a part of the new conversation. Is like, when we start looking at this deal, is like, hey, how do we make it, like a little more even for everybody? So I don't know. I don't bring back the computer. Maybe tweak it a little bit. We'll get to the end. But yeah, Santa, sorry, we're asking for lots of stuff here.
No, it's all right. Let's cast a wider net, continue to expand the playoff, and then you'll continue to have a larger margin for error for this committee.
And my last wish, what wasn't when you were playing Monopoly, they have the community chest where you land on that and you draw the card, and but wasn't there another one with the question mark and it was like the chance? Yeah. That's all I'm asking for here, man. A chance. Somehow, some way, by hook, by crook, it does not matter. I just want to see this football program take the field in Arlington, Texas with a chance. That's all I would ask. And that's my biggest wish. And yes, health comes with it. You need scheduling to come with it, all those things. We need our basketball power forward, JT Toppin, healthy and all that. I just that's at the top of my list. Just give me a chance, man. And if I screw it up, so be it. I just want a chance. I think you would take over that venue. I think your fan base would be absolutely off the hook in that venue. And it just would be, I want my eyes to see that. Kind of like Rudy's dad.
Yeah.
Most beautiful sight I've ever seen. And yeah, we can wish for other stuff past that, okay? But you gotta crawl before you can walk, and walk before you can run, and all that. I'm just get me to Arlington with a chance, and then let me go Kenny Dillingham and Arizona State on somebody like they did on poor Matt Campbell and his stupid crooked hat. But that's what I'm wishing for. Just a chance, man. Just a chance.
Chris Level going Ned Beatty. Didn't have it on my Christmas Eve bingo card, but you love to see it. All right, Chris, appreciate a little extra time today. Let's hope all of our wishes come true, our wildest dreams as it relates to the Red Raiders in 2025. Hope you and your family have a great Christmas. Hope everybody out there has a Merry Christmas as well. And we'll catch you on the other side for Liberty Bowl preparation.
Yeah, so be careful out there. Make sure you got a little hooch in your eggnog this evening, tomorrow, whatever. Hooch belongs in eggnog. Trust me, it does. And if it doesn't burn going down just a little bit, you don't have enough hooch in there. So make sure. Cranberry or cranberry sauce does not belong on any sort of holiday plate at all. It just ruins everything. The can, the berries with the jelly around it, no. Make sure you incorporate tamales, whether it's tonight, Christmas Eve, or whether it's Christmas Day. Tamales belong in some sort of your Christmas cuisine. They just do. We're from Texas. Yeah, that's the way it goes. And then last thing, if you go the dessert route, some will, some won't. Try a little bit of everything. However, if it involves coconut, or meringue, okay? Other than that, have at it. Do your thing. We love you all. Merry Christmas. Be safe. Enjoy the family out there. Enjoy your friends. And hope you get what you wanted. And hopefully we got what we want next year. Santa, I'm telling you, I'm coming for you if you don't give me a chance, man. I got my eye on you, man.
I didn't know you were going to be leaning on that nog, sipping on that nog.
Sure.
I didn't know you were a nog man.
Only with hooch in it.
All right.
Yeah.
Is there any other kind? I didn't even know.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes, there is.
Person just be taking that straight up.
Yeah, go to a work party and it's like, nothing that burns going down and that stuff. But
that's ridiculous.
The way it's supposed to be made, you know.
I'm sure all of the Locked On Texas Tech family knows how to nog. I'm just going to trust in that. All right, for Chris Level, I'm Casey Cowan. Thanks as always for being out there. Hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas. We'll be getting ready for the Razorbacks on the other side. So we hope to see you back for the next round on Locked On Texas Tech.